All right, my friends, today is January the 20th. It is Inauguration Day, possibly the biggest week we've ever had in crypto. So sit back and enjoy the market outlook and plans for the week ahead. Start off with the macro. Macro, there are no major changes, but we're just going to kind of touch base on a couple of key points. So the first thing is the Q1 thesis. Bull Q1 very much intact. There's no reason to think that that plan has anything wrong with it just yet. In the short term, there might be, some volatility, but how the way that the rest of the quarter is going to play out for me, unless something changes, we're going to trade up. So I got 120K next and then 150K after that. Those are the kind of key areas I expect price to interact with, purely just off psychological levels. Calling cycle tops, any of this kind of stuff, pointless, right? We want to operate on what's in front of us. What's in front of us is, yo guys, hit that like and subscribe button for me. Appreciate it. Trend continuation, potentially, and that's what I'm betting on. We are officially holding 100K support as of last night. So that is the first kind of positive shift we've seen. If you look at this on the daily candle structure, I'm not really much of a, candlestick guy, but just to visualize this is the first time we've had like an actual clean flip of 100K where it was defended properly. So from a macro standpoint, is going to be the boomer bait argument, right? So I really think that once we get through the inauguration and the dust kind of settles, that's when the boomer TWAPs, which frankly, the boomer TWAPs are probably already going off a little bit, but I really think that's where a huge amount of the demand for Bitcoin is going to come for us in Q1, right? It's the US is getting the green light to be crypto centric, right? And to have businesses actually own these things and do different shit. So that's a really positive development that is kind of memed on a little bit, because the whole idea of the institutions are coming, right? That was something people said for so long that, it was very much a boy who cried wolf, but they actually are here now. Last kind of big thing I wanted to talk about on the macro side is going to be around the narrative conversation. So, medium time frame, obviously the most important talking point right now is going to be the inauguration, right? We got, massive, flows coming in overnight around speculation of the strategic reserve. I really think that it's not that unlikely to expect that a lot of the kind of breakout longers, the leverage shovers, he's going to mention strategic reservers, anybody that thinks that's going to be the main talking point today, a lot of those guys are going to end up getting liquidated today, I think, where so much risk got shoved in overnight. And I think we can already kind of see that it's starting to unwind a little bit. This doesn't affect how I view anything in any way. It's just in over the next couple of hours, maybe day or whatever, I think people are going to get chopped the fuck up probably. That shouldn't be a surprise to any of us, like what's been happening over the past couple of days leading up to the inauguration, right? Main, conversations I want to have is that, the structure does look insanely good. I really like the way that this is developing. All the VWAPs are looking good from an anchored standpoint, so I have no negative arguments on that. I would just urge you guys to pay very close attention to sentiment. Look at the sentiment shifts that we've had on either side of the range, right? When I was positioning, everybody was, quite sure that, the election was to sell the news and we were going zero or whatever, right? And now they think it's, it went up, so now they think it's buy the news. Reality, it's actually kind of the opposite of that. The higher prices, the more likely to sell off, right? So anyways, if you are not positioned, I would say that, if there's election volatility or inauguration volatility, you want to position on that, right? I don't have anything that I'm super eager to chase into right now. Definitely have a less is more mindset with that, but who knows? Maybe if we got a good dip, I would send another leverage, basket trade and long Bitcoin, Solana, and maybe an altcoin or two. Kind of closing thoughts on medium time frame is there are no dramatic changes. I'm just patiently waiting to get through this event. Basically going to be playing this out very, very similarly to how the election played out, right? So this is basically where we're at right now, where this was the summertime range. I think we're in these kind of later stages of the summertime range. This was the election, kind of rallied up into 73, 74K. I think we made a new all-time high off that. Had a bit of a rejection. Everybody shit their pants as we pulled back, $5,000, and then we just ripped up. So that's kind of what I'm hoping, is that maybe we, chop people up a tiny bit, maybe pull back, maybe. Who knows how far, who knows if it's a really weak pullback, if it's a deeper pullback, who knows, right? Some sort of pullback and wipe out some of this risk that just got put on. Reset basis, and then moon that, right? That's kind of what I'm hoping for. There's a lot of different ways that this could play out, though, and ultimately it all comes down to just what's the highest and lowest probability. You know, chopping people up is definitely the highest probability scenario here, though. And then once we watch people get whipsawed, then we can make the best decision whether up or down is the most likely. Given the context of everything, right, up makes the most sense for sure. Quick conversation around altcoins. Okay, so these are all the holds that I have. There's a few different things that I'm, maybe looking at here and there. But for the most part, guys, I'm not super interested in really venturing too much. I have decent altcoin exposure from spot. Obviously, it's definitely, overshadowed by things like my Bitcoin and my Solana, but, it's healthy enough positioning to where I don't really feel like I need leverage altcoin positions on all the time to benefit from potential moves. So, doing some scans here and there. There's definitely some markets to pay attention to. It really is as simple. Is your coin getting attention and having potentially some sort of Trump narrative associated with it, right? Like an ENA, for example, or one of the other coins I just saw was up was Aave, right? So that's the mindset you want to be having right now, right? I would implore all you guys to spend time watching Spaghetti over the next week too, because to use that, platitude that we used to always say, right? The market's going to show a TAM this week for where the bid's going to go. So you definitely want to be paying attention to that. So yeah, as far as altcoins go, I'm not going crazy with anything. If we were to get a good sell-off, I probably would send some derivative trades, and one of those would be on an altcoin, probably, maybe two. Spreading the bets somewhere between like as little as 2 positions as maximum of 5. That's generally how I play that for the Dalai Lama stuff, that is. Okay, that's it for altcoins. I didn't really want to spend too much time yapping about altcoins because, frankly, the, overwhelmingly important piece is what the fuck's Bitcoin doing, right? This is the only thing you really want to care about right now. That's pretty much it for me today. Thanks for listening. This is, unironically one of the biggest weeks that we've ever had in crypto. It might be the biggest week we've ever had, honestly, definitively. So I think that the opportunity is max. I would say that there's a level of uncertainty right now, which is actually good, because the moments of, when peak uncertainty equals peak opportunity, right? Think about just a week ago, the kind of fear and uncertainty we had at 90K, right? And this was the peak this was the maximum opportunity. I think that we are in a version of maximum opportunity right now, where Q1 is hopefully going to do what I thought it was going to do, which is going to be trading up, next leg up towards 120K, and then we're off to the races from there. I yapped a lot during last year about the idea of us, once we started to get into these 80, 90, 100K levels, that the world wouldn't be able to ignore us. And that's what we want, right? We want other people to come in and try to compete versus us in this casino, and that increases our chances and, basically shifts us into PvE, which we've all been patiently waiting for PvE. We really haven't experienced that this cycle like we did in 2021. So maybe that's right around the corner. Anyways, that's it for me. Sorry the video was a little short and I probably sounded tired, but again, I'm operating on like 2 hours of sleep in the past 40 hours, so that's why. But good luck out there. Huge opportunity in front of you. Lock in and try to find a way to capitalize on it. Cheers, everybody.